What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So we finally have the data download for the new Halloween Ace Sugofest. So I've already made two videos already talking about Ace. I made a video discussing the entire new Sugofest batch with the brand new Ace, who I think he looks really cool. I think he's an extremely unique character. Would love to get my hands on him. He looks so much fun to use. Then you've got all of the new batch rare recruits, which in my personal opinion, I think this is one of the weaker batches that we've had in a pretty long time. Even just looking forward to stuff that we are expecting to come to global, right? Like V2 Nami with Komurasaki, their batch is actually really good. You've also got Sober Mask and Luffy Zoro, and their batch is incredible. Lots of good rare recruits there. And, you know, honestly, this batch compared to those, much weaker. So I do think that just looking at a standpoint of this Sugofest batch, I do think this is a complete skip. I really think you should try and save your gems instead of summoning on this Sugofest. We will be going through the Sugofest structure here. Unfortunately, with the new update, of course, we can't see how everything is laid out, including rate boosts and stuff, but we can have a look at the steps for the Sugofest banner, as well as some of the rate boosted units. So here we've got the new Doflamingo, of course, very interesting unit. He will remove resilience buff completely off the enemy, which is interesting. And then if the enemy has full debuff immunity or a delay immunity, your shooters and fighters get a 1.75 attack and orb boost. So it's a pretty decent special, but a little bit niche. This Reiju, honestly, is the one I'm most looking forward to getting because she removes poison completely. She gets rid of burn and paralysis by 3 turns, and shooters and cerebrals get a full board of matching slots. And then for the next 2 turns, you have a much higher chance of getting matching orbs. So I do think that this Reiju is going to see a little bit more play, but anyways, wait and see. Then we've got this Coalla, who is one of the weakest batch units I've seen in a very long time for One Piece Treasure Cruise. She is just very unimpressive. So the thing that makes her not very impressive is she really doesn't do much. She reduces increased damage taken by 5 turns, which, as I've mentioned in my batch breakdown video, totally unnecessary. There are just no pieces of content where that is a necessary thing to get rid of. And then she halves damage taken for 3 turns, and also for 3 turns you heal 10 times her recovery. When you look at that, 570 recovery, so you're healing 5,700 for 3 turns with half damage taken, and that's it. Like, she's just a unit to tank damage from, which she just doesn't provide enough for a 2020 released batch unit. Very underwhelming, so I'm pretty unimpressed about that. Now, on part 1 of this Sugofest, you also have Luffy and Law rate boosted, as well as Kaido rate boosted. Now, of course, we cannot check the rates for this banner. I will be summoning on this banner when it goes live. I'll likely be live streaming my pulls. So we'll be able to check the rates on the day, and that'll be inside the video as well. But I would assume that these characters are going to have a relatively low rate if we go by more recent released Sugofests. And then we've got Halloween Ace, of course, who's going to be boosted. Now, it's kind of weird, though, because we can see Luffy Law is a 5-star, Kaido is a 5-star, and then Ace has got his 6-star artwork here. So I think that they're probably going to make Ace's 6-star going to be pullable during this banner. That would make a lot of sense to me. But before we even get into the structure, one thing that we have to see is the rates, of course. I just mentioned that, but the rates for this Sugofest is going to really determine whether people are going to summon or not. Because looking at the structure, I've already had a look at what the banner is going to be looking like. It's pretty underwhelming, and I would have thought that, you know, considering this is a Sugofest that many people were going to skip in the first place, it's very strange that they haven't even tried to entice people to try and pull on this banner. The only thing that seems enticing would be the discounted 30 rainbow gems, and that's it. So let's go ahead and go through it. So looking at the steps right here, as I said, the first multi is discounted at 30 rainbow gems. Unfortunately, they haven't added anything to the second multi-pull of this banner. It is a little bit strange. I would have expected them to do, you know, second multi, a guaranteed new batch character. They do that typically on banners that aren't as exciting as some other ones, and they typically do that, and they haven't done that here, which is very strange. So what they've done instead is, you guys will see on step 4, but on step 3 you can see it's a guaranteed Sugofest exclusive character. That's pretty stock standard, nothing really too crazy there. However, on step 4, the last wanted poster is guaranteed to be a shooter class Sugofest exclusive character. Now, there are many shooter characters that you could pull from this ticket. However, you do have to note that I'm pretty sure that the new Kuzan that just came out, I'm pretty sure he's a shooter. I think he's shooter free spirit. So he could be pullable on this banner. So for that reason, I'm going to be doing 4 multis for this particular banner. I'm not really going to be doing more than that because Obviously, we got the treasure map coming up as well, but honestly, if I get ace on the 3rd multi, hypothetically, I hope that happens, but if I get ace hypothetically, you know, before the 4th multi, I wouldn't be doing it, but it's just very weird, because I think a lot of people would have appreciated a guaranteed new character on the 2nd multi compared to just a guaranteed shooter legend, because as we all know, shooters are probably the worst class in the game. Obviously, the new Xistens, I'm pretty sure he's a shooter, but that new Xistens, he's a very, very good legend. And then you got Legend Capone, also a very, very good legend, but no one is using characters like that. I mean, Xistens might see play, but, you know, Capone and, you know, what else is there? Zephyr, V2 Lucci is also classified as a shooter as well. Like, there's lots of trash legends as well. Like, you got all the way back to, like, V1 Ace, Legend Magellan, who doesn't see that much play anymore. There's a bunch of other shooter characters, right? So, you do have a pretty high chance of getting some hot garbage in this particular pool here. But there is that chance of getting ace, right? So it is what it is. We'll have to see the rates, as I said. Especially checking the rates for the 11th poster of this multi will be very, very interesting. The 6th multi is just a guaranteed Sugofest exclusive, nothing special there. And then we move on to the 8th, which again is just another legend, nothing special there. The 10th multi is a limited pool Sugofest exclusive. And then the 11th is a guaranteed new character. Now, I'm pretty confused about this. I have no idea why this particular banner had a guaranteed new character on step 11, when this is typically something that we see on step 2. This definitely should have been on step 2, and, you know, keep this one on step 11, I don't really give a shit, but this one should have definitely been on step 2. Definitely should have been there. So, look, just judging by this, you should be skipping this banner. You 100% should be skipping this banner. Considering what we know is coming, there's no reason to be pulling here. Come on, guys. It's not even, like, honestly, I don't think it's going to have a high legend rate because it didn't on JP. And it's not as hype as a celebration compared to, you know, any other big banner that's coming out. I honestly would think V2 Nami and Komurasaki, when that comes to global, I think that might get a rate boost. This one is likely going to be a base, flat, regular legend rate Sugofest. So just judging by that, no, you should not be pulling here. The 13th multi is another limited pool legend, and then the 15th multi is also another limited pool legend. I would expect these characters around this time would be probably max special level. It doesn't mention it here, but I would expect them to be max special level. So, yeah, honestly, I'm relatively disappointed at this banner. I thought that they would have structured it a little bit better. As I said, it's a banner that a lot of people were going to be skipping, and I would have thought that because of that being the case, that they might have tried to entice people in doing, you know, maybe 1 to 2 to 3 multis to try and get some of the new characters. I think having a new guaranteed batch unit on step 2 would have been a great opportunity to try and get people who weren't going to be pulling to do some multis here. But because that's not even here, I don't think people are going to be summoning as much as what they really should have been. I think that would have been great if they did that, as I said, just to entice the players, but unfortunately not the case. Now, this was not the only thing that was added with this data download. We can go ahead over to Extra Island and peep some other stuff that's going to be dropping here. So I've actually time traveled to the exact day that the Sugofest will be going live. So we actually have the Ace trial quest, so you can trial out all the new batch characters, including the new Ace, and we also have a look at a brand new Luffy character. Now, this Luffy character is free to play, so we can actually go back to Extra Island real quick. There's 2 new islands added. So there is this brand new island, which is a Fortnite with Galette. I can't remember her name, but it also has a Montador secret character. They seem okay, nothing too crazy. But you can get skill books for Sanji Judge, Vivi Rebecca. Iron is very good. What's her name? I can't remember. Kami, couldn't even remember her name. Stampede Brooke, Stampede Chopper, Stampede Robin, and Story Mode Caesar. So yeah, there's some really good skill books there. If you haven't maxed any of those characters, farm this up for sure. And then, of course, we have the brand new Luffy Island. So you can see that it currently has a 30 stamina difficulty. I believe there's also a 60 stamina difficulty. Likely you will get that after you beat this one for the first time. And then there's also a 0 stamina, which is a challenge difficulty island. Now, the challenge difficulty, I haven't looked it up, but I would assume it's going to be relatively difficult. But we're going to go over to the Chopper Man missions, to the special quests. This is all obviously the new Fortnite stuff. And we can scroll past that, and we got the Raid Luffy, so you can get copies of him just by completing his difficulty with the 60 stamina or the 30 stamina difficulty. And then, once you complete the challenge difficulty, you get these rewards. So you can get a treasure turkey, you can get 100 of each cotton candy, recovery bind resistance tablets, I think it was ×5. Yeah, critical attack, barrier penetration, and also 20 rainbow gems. So those tablets that you get given, those are all the abilities that the brand new Halloween Ace actually has. So you'll be able to get 5 of each of Halloween Ace's tablets and 20 rainbow gems by completing this. So obviously when this comes out, I know a lot of people are going to want to beat this, get some extra rainbow gems, potentially use that for summoning. You shouldn't be summoning on this banner, by the way. But those tablets are really enticing to get as well. 100 of each cotton candy. And it's times 3, I just realized. Times 3. So 300 of each cotton candy. Woo! It's pretty good. I would expect it to be relatively difficult, so I'll have to do some research about that, so I can bring you guys a video, but that's very, very cool. But what does this brand new Luffy do? Because I know some people were probably going to ask, what does this new Luffy do? Is he any good? If you guys watch my how-to video for the Halloween Ace, I did talk about this Luffy in that video. If you end up pulling Ace, you want this unit. And remember, this is a Halloween-themed unit, so it's likely not going to be coming back for a relatively long time. So you should farm him up when he drops. So he is an int fighter free spirit. He's going to have a captain ability of making fighters attack by 2.75, and tandem slots are going to be matching, so nothing great. His special ability though, which is the main thing here, 12 turn cooldown. He binds himself for 7 turns, which might seem like a bad thing, but if you have Halloween Ace, you can use his special ability to unbind him, which is fine. And then he also reduces one enemy's HP by 25%. He reduces Despair also by 4 turns, and then changes all slots on your crew, including block, into tandem. And he does have the sailor ability of making fighter characters tandem slots matching if your captain is a fighter, so under Ace it works perfectly. And then he has a really unique mechanic, right? So it's not a unique like mechanic or anything, but it's a unique effect where it says if you have an orb boost active when you use his special, you get a 2.75 times chain lock for 3 turns. But if you don't have an orb boost active, you'll get a 3 times chain lock, but for 1 turn. So you can use it in certain ways where, you know, if you want an extended chain boost or a chain lock, then you'd want to have an orb boost active. Now, there will be a character that's going to be releasing later on down the line that works very, very well with this Luffy. So obviously just get him maxed out because he's going to be very, very good. He supports any fighter character, adding 12% HP, so nothing special there. But yeah, that new Luffy's coming out. Make sure to go ahead and farm him up. Obviously when it drops, I'll be making videos about it. So there's lots of stuff coming out. This should be debuting on the 29th of March at 1900 PST time. Halloween Ace Sugofest. Do not summon. Doesn't seem very good. I really wish the Sugofest was a bit better, but look, there's nothing we could do about it. But it's just... they could have done a little bit better. They could have pushed a little harder here to make it a little bit more of an enticing Sugofest. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video today. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.